Here's your host, Joanna.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new, welcome to Joanna the Medium Show. If I haven't said it to you yet, happy New Year, happy 2018. I don't know about you guys, but I have been feeling, I think, the effects of the lunar eclipse, because energetically speaking, I feel extremely drained. And it's up and down. So if any of you are feeling the effects of it, my guest, who is Ama the LightWorker, I've had her on her show before, her and I will be talking about how the eclipses will affect us going forward and what we need to do about it. So it's a 2-hour show. I don't think I've done a 2-hour show before, or maybe if I did at the beginning. So for the first hour, Ama and I will do readings. And I think the lines are going to open in a moment. And in the second hour, we may also take calls, but we will be talking about energies. I have another guest who will be joining Ama and myself. He has been on my show before. His name is Max. He's a former ordained minister, and he used to do exorcisms for 30 years. He's also a healer now, energetic healer. So we will get his perspective on healing. Now, let me just see if there's anything else I need to say. So when we go through calls, if you could please just have one quick question, that would be wonderful, so we can get through as many people as possible. And without further ado, let me welcome Ama to the show. Ama, hello. How are you?
Hi, how is everybody tonight? Hello, Joanna.
Hello, darling.
Hello to our audience. I hope the new year is treating you good. And if it's not, I hope it turns around for all of us.
I have briefly tuned in. I don't have much knowledge when it comes to astrology, but it's an interest of mine, and I actually tuned in to Spirit, and I say, okay, show me, how it's going to affect us physically, emotionally, and mentally. And it's interesting because I've never actually done this before, and they made me feel certain things. So what I got, and this will be interesting to check with you, Ama, because I know you have a lot more knowledge about this than I do. So this is strictly from Spirit. So it looks like, mentally speaking, we're going to feel a movement forward. We're going to be propelled forward with ideas, with knowledge, and with implementation of ideas. Emotionally speaking, it looks like many of us will be looking at choices, which may cause for some a sense of confusion. So there's different doors that are being opened as a result. And spiritually, I was being shown that this is actually one of those times where many of us will face our situations, and it's a challenge in our journeys. So yes, challenges happen all the time, but it looks like this eclipse offers many of us a challenge to overcome in our personal, looks like belief system. Does that make any sense, Ama?
It does make sense perfectly, because I was looking at the eclipses, the lunar and solar eclipses, from also an Akashic perspective. I did work with the Akashic records, and I did a little feeling like what's the reason? Why is this lunar eclipse happening, or why is this solar eclipse happening? So generally speaking, the Akashic records did indicate that at a personal level, each and every one of us is going to start to question which direction to go in life. What's the next step? They may have question about a specific area of your life, like what to do. You may start to feel a little bit lost, and all of us to some degree, like some of us in a larger scale more than others, are meant to feel a little bit like feeling lost. But what human beings are going to try to do, as always, we are going to try to maybe find like a quick fix, because they think that finding a quick fix to these problems is going to help. But with what the spirit, what the universe, the source wants us to do, they are actually encouraging us to receive this deep healing, because everything that will happen at a much deeper level. Questioning yourself, questioning which direction to go, that will be in a much deeper level. Therefore, the healing needs to happen at a much deeper level. So it is also about what you personally like to, how you like to change your personal world, and what is your contribution to the world? What is your role? What is your destiny in the world? What is your contribution to the collective consciousness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I'm being shown as you're talking is that collectively speaking, and this is just purely what I'm being told, I actually have no clue if that's true or not. So the image I'm getting is that there is an opportunity here to create a wider level of openness with each and every individual in order for us to reach towards a much higher vibration, much higher frequency. So that's how it's being shown to me.
Exactly.
This
is the big preparation. The big preparation before the next big stage of everybody's life. So we still need to let go of everything before we turn a new chapter in our life. And also, I don't know if you are still able to hear me. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
You're sounding a little distant.
I am so sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what to say.
Who is distant, JP? Is it myself or is it Ama?
Ama is, it sounds like you're talking from like the other side of the room, or your microphone is on the other side of the room from where you are. It's very like a distant, echoey voice. So
yeah, I think what's happening.
Sorry, I apologize for that. I don't know what else to do.
Are you on a laptop?
I'm not doing anything differently.
Do you have a webcam?
She's on a laptop, yes.
I'm on a laptop, yes.
Can you move the laptop, or do you have do you have a headset or something?
I'm going to put them on again right now.
Yeah, try that.
How about now? Is this better?
No, that's just the same. But you can hear us.
Because I was telling her at the beginning, I have a feeling that she's not inputting through her earbuds. I couldn't find her. Yeah.
Can you try pushing the plug in a little bit? On your headphones and your microphone. Sorry about this, people, but we want to be able to present Ama's voice.
To hear correctly. Did that make a difference?
No.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what else.
Try pulling your earbuds out.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not picking up through earbuds. That's what it is. It's the input isn't happening.
Okay, you can hear us now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Bring your laptop really close to you now.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yes.
Really strange, isn't it? It's like really
Will
distant.
That work?
Look.
I'm sorry, everybody.
That's okay. I can hear her, so it must be on your end, JP, because I can hear her quite well. I mean, I can hear the surroundings, but I can hear her. Are you having difficulty understanding her?
No, it's just a strange quality that sounds like it's not on, she's like off, what we call in the trade off mic,
Yes.
But anyway,
Yes.
I'll ride the volume control as much as I can. Now, we've had a couple of calls. Would you like to bring those in when I next catch one? I'll bring them into the call and you can pick them up.
You betcha. So sorry, Ama, I think I interrupted you. You were saying.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Unfortunately, I am technologically challenged.
It happens to the best of us. Do we have a caller, JP?
Right at this moment, no, but probably in a few seconds, one will pop up because you're very popular,
I'm just looking at our chat here. So there is, welcome all of you who are
here we have. There we go. As I said, there'll be one. So, here we go. And we're going to bring in area code 352. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good, thank you. How can we help you, darling?
I was wondering if Ama could answer a question for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, of course.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
What's your question?
Hi, Ama. I just wanted to know if you picked up anything about me and my career.
Okay. What specifically are you looking forward to doing? Like, are you looking to stay within the same career? And what's your intention?
My intention is to find out if I'm supposed to pursue mediumship professionally, or if I should go back to teaching, or if it's going to be something totally different.
For you, I keep getting that maybe you have not noticed this, but your psychic ability and how you connect to spirit is increasing. Your power to connect to spirit and your potential as a channel for spirit is increasing. They are actually showing me two different things, not only mediumship. They are telling me that you are going to start with mediumship, but then later you are also going to be trained in adding one more service. And I also keep hearing like a gentle laughter, like a very benevolent laughter in the background, because they're saying, this is the perfect timing. This is the perfect timing. But I also am sensing a little bit of a sense of fear. So it is not about if this is right for you. It is not about if the timing is right for you. They are actually talking about you having to let go of that little fear, that you are still hanging on to it a little bit. So it is about you fully and completely accepting yourself. Because accepting yourself 100% unconditionally, it is part of you loving yourself. So accept the gift and use the gift. So there's no timeline for this. When you are ready, you are ready. But as of right now, they are encouraging you to pursue it. I also keep getting that there's going to be one more upcoming training for you. And you are going to take this mediumship to the next higher level, because I also keep getting a more of an international audience for you. So no matter where you are located, it doesn't matter in what state, what country you are located, I keep getting that you are going to attract a lot of foreign people or like a big international audience. And I keep feeling that that's going to be your liberation. It's not going to be something that is going to confine you. That's going to be your liberation. You pursuing and embracing this to the next higher level. Did that make sense to you? Can you connect to what I said?
100%.
Okay. Good. Let's talk a little bit about that sense of confinement, that sense when you feel maybe a little bit limited or powerless. Does that make sense to you? Have you been experiencing that maybe in the last couple of weeks?
Well, my name, when I finally do go public, is going to be the disabled medium.
Okay. And that would be wonderful, because you are going to show that regardless of any physical limitations, there's no reason for the soul to be limited. All right?
I'm going to be teaching I'm going to teach the whole world how to get in touch with their soul and hear their soul and live by their soul. That's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, I'm sure March and April for you, when you are really something is going to start to kick in.
Somebody what?
No, something in this perspective is going to start to kick in. March and April, fabulous time for you.
Okay.
Rebecca, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
What made you think of the name disabled, aside from the obvious? I'm assuming.
And while I'm a teacher for the handicapped,
right,
and while I was getting my degree to be a teacher for the handicapped, I had an inoperable brain tumor and 3 brain surgeries. And it left me with some problems. So now I really understand how to teach them and what they need.
Perfect. The reason why I ask, because you will come to a certain point and you will change the name to be much more transformative and much more empowering.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're showing me.
Okay.
Okay? It may not mean anything to you right now, but it will at some point. The name
sounds good.
You're gonna change the way you feel about the name, what you call yourself.
Oh, I'd love being me.
For me?
I love me. I love myself.
No. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the word disabled. You will change that word at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I hope that was helpful. Good luck.
Thank you so much, both of
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Ama.
Thank you so
Good luck.
much.
That was pretty good. That was excellent.
We're now joined by area code 121. Who's that? Where are you at?
Jamie.
Hello,
from Philadelphia.
How are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. How can we help you?
I was just calling to see if maybe I can get some answers from some major life changes that I'm going through, or that I think that I'm going through.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm being shown right away is, if I may, I'm just going to go because it just hit me.
Yes, go ahead, please.
The moment I connected with your name, I have this sense of an anxiety in my chest. You don't have to say yes or no, just kind of listen. What they showed me is that there is this incredible hold that you are holding yourself back, and it's almost like spirit wants you to charge forward, but there is equally as a forceful energy that's keeping you back. I don't know what it is that is affecting you to this degree, but they're showing me you are standing on a threshold, and it's almost like you're about to tip in the other direction. What I mean by this, it's almost like as if you're about to go to a brand new beginning, but there's a part of you that is deathly afraid. Does any of this make any sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so what I want to say here is that what you're going through is, and I can feel your emotions, they're coming up to my throat right now, and I'm actually quite scared. But what they're saying here is, you're going to be okay. They're showing me the number 7 with this, which to me symbolizes that you are in a process of working through something quite substantial within yourself, emotionally speaking. I call that mastery. So you are mastering a certain level of emotional aspect of yourself, and those are never, never easy. But through this process, not only will you learn something incredibly important about you, and it has to do with your skills and your ability to fully express them, but also you will, it's also almost like you're going to go to the other side of the river. So river to me represents emotions, and you're going to go from one end to the other, which to me signifies you're going to emotionally feel very, very different. So whatever this is right now, to me also symbolizes endings. They're showing me the symbol of completion. It is not something that is easy. It's almost like the universe is wanting to unplug you from something because they have a better idea, what's better for you than you do, or simply just because you're afraid and it's time to go. But at the end of the day, what they're showing me is you are turning a page in a chapter of yours, and the next part of the book is unwritten, which means you get to decide. But before you get to decide, you have to go through this, almost like you're standing at a cliff and then somebody pushes you and, oh my God, you didn't even realize you have the wings to fly. So it's trust. And even as I talk about it, I have this passion with it, because it's equally probably as scary. Does that make any sense to you?
It absolutely does.
Okay, know that it's good.
Does.
It may not feel like it, but it is also fundamentally changing you at the very core of who you are.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Wow. Ama?
I also keep getting that whatever will happen, it's fate, it's destiny, it's meant to happen. So I feel that you are not going to be questioning a lot, because at some point you're going to make peace with yourself that this is fate, this is destiny, and it was meant to be. For some reason, I'm drawn to your finances, and I am told that toward the later part of 2018, there's going to be improvement or some good news in relation to your financial affairs. So it's basically about you being more open to accept fate. And fate is going to be good. It's just going to be good. So it's about fated events happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I as I'm listening to Ama, I'm still tuned into you, and I feel like I want to jump out of my skin, not because it's terrible, but because I can't wait to get to the next step. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the lunar eclipse for you.
If I mention a certain sense, I also picked up a little bit like maybe the sense of separation, and I don't know how else to explain that. If I mention separation, how do you connect to that? Does it mean anything to you at all?
Separation.
Like a sense of separation. It could be anything.
A what separation?
A sense of separation.
A what?
Sense, as in sense.
Oh, a sense.
Yeah.
A sense of separation. Yeah, it's probably my life taking a completely different turn. So separating myself from probably the world as what I thought it was. You know what I mean? To what the world truly is, because it's something completely different. It's like I had my head in the damn sand for half my life, and now it's out, and it's like, holy shit. So it's like, separating myself from exactly who I thought I was to who I truly am.
What they're showing me here is that because this is a very, very highly emotionally charged period of your life, the advice is here to make sure you stay on top of your daily routine in order to keep your emotions at bay, because there is a tendency towards charging forward either due to fear or not putting enough focus. So this is the good old tried method of doing things in a way that's logical, that's well thought out. And not that it's not about taking risks, of course it is, but not taking risks because you are fundamentally wired by running away from fear.
Yes,
okay?
I understand that.
So that's what that is. I hope this was helpful. That was pretty deep.
Oh my God, that was really deep.
That's
I was
exciting.
actually kind of nervous when I called. I was like, oh my God, they answered. Holy shit. What am I going to... I'm sorry, I should have cursed.
That's okay.
I keep getting an image of you by the window and maybe like taking a sip of coffee or tea. And I'm told to tell you, do not think, reflect all day long, but take your time. Maybe like 10, 20 minutes in your day to simply sit by the window, soak it all in, think, reflect, and even meditate. That's a good year for you to meditate. Okay. But for some reason, I'm showing like you sitting by the window. Does that mean anything?
It probably does. Like I said, you know, I'm actually a nurse. Go figure. I'm a pediatric nurse. Let's start there. And and I'm actually studying like astrology and tarot, and it's like okay. So it's a reflection of my life, of the career choices that I've made, and kind of looking back and being like, okay, Jamie, yes, this was part of it. Like, this is what you needed, right, in order to help many people. But because how can I put this? There's the traditional way, and there's the way that we're supposed to do it. Do you know what I mean? So there's like modern medicine, but there's also traditional medicine. And it's almost just looking back, at all the events in my life. And I hear what you're saying, Emma. Like, it's almost like, okay, take those 20 minutes, but then let it go and continue throughout your day. Like, don't sit there and, and make the whole entire day about going in your past and trying to know. You do that for 20 minutes in a structured time and let it go.
And also fate will intervene. You're going to deal with fated events. Fate will intervene.
What?
So trust your destiny.
Fate will intervene. I'm sorry, listen, honey, we have to let you go because we've got several callers waiting. So thank you so much.
No,
and
thank you so
oh my
much.
God.
Oh my God.
Best of luck to you. This is so exciting. So exciting. Thank you so much for calling. All right, let's move on to our next caller.
Area code 609. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What is your name?
My name's Helen. Hi, Joanna.
Hello, Helen.
Hiya.
How are you?
How you doing? You're so beautiful. I love seeing your picture. And Ama too. She looks beautiful. I don't know what she did. I don't know what she did, but she looks so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited.
So sweet.
I'm so excited. I can't believe this. Yes, please.
Sweetheart?
I would like to know, I just left my job and I'm looking for another job. And, I have a couple of different options. And I just want to know if you see me being financially okay.
So
I don't want to lose my home.
I'm just going to jump in quickly. What I see right away is I see a fast movement forward. This to me symbolizes, so if you have just quit a job and you're looking for another one, it tells me that there's going to be swift movement with it. But I have to pause for a second because I have someone coming in saying the words mom. Do you have a mother figure on the other side?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you have some sort of a round something on a necklace, or did she wear something that was round? This is very significant. It was either a gift or a present, and I don't know if it was for you, from you for her, or from her to you. There is a piece of something that is round.
Yes.
That would be worn
it's a ring. It's a ring.
Yeah,
it's on the necklace.
Okay.
Yes, it's a ring.
I keep
it's
hearing
round.
the word keep it. I don't know why, but she's saying keep it. Okay. The other thing that she's showing me is the number 7 or the month of July. Do you connect with either or?
7.
7 or July. If you don't worry about it. This is recorded.
Maybe not now because I'm nervous. Just because I'm nervous.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. So there is changes in your work. However, I feel like this lady who calls herself your mom, she's trying to get your attention. It's almost like she's saying before you make the next move forward, you need to spend time to decide what you really and truly want. In other words, don't run into another job before you fundamentally know if this is the right job for you. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
You are in a process of completion and therefore have the ability to take greater chances and greater risks. Okay? Why? Because you've gone through as much as you've gone through, and Spirit expects more for you. But in order for that to happen, you need to expect more for yourself.
Okay, I got you.
Okay? So that's really, really important because this is a time of change for you, and there will be opportunities presented to you. It is really important for you to trust that the right opportunity will always present itself to you, but at the same time, not be propelled by fear. Oh my God, I'm never going to get anything else. So it's a bit of like walking in a tightrope. Point is, this is a time for you to take chances and make different decisions than you have done in the past.
Okay.
So yes, there is work. Yes, there are opportunities, but it's almost like, okay, now let's see what you're going to decide because the next opportunity may be a really long-term one. And is this where you want to be?
Oh, good. Good. That's wonderful. Wonderful. My just last question is, will I ever get remarried? Am I going to be alone the rest of my life?
Okay, so let me just go back to, he's taking me all the way to your root and second chakra. You have what I will call an energetic block. Now, what do I mean by that? It means that in your second chakra and your first, there is some challenge around fear around intimacy and trust. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay. In order for you to have a loving, stable, firm relationship, you want to address what happened because you have this fear in the background that you are expecting people to fail you.
Yes, yes.
If you have that belief, you will keep attracting it. So again, another opportunity for you to look into things deeper, get a different perspective and go, based on what I know right now, how will I handle this going forward? Because you're in a transition right now. And that the universe will ask of you to make choices and decisions that aren't necessarily very comfortable ones. Plus, with the eclipse, shit comes up to surface, pardon my English, in order for it to be addressed. When it's comfortable, we don't address it. It always have to get to the uncomfortable point before we go, let me do it. So, yes, there is work. And yes, there's opportunities for dating. He says dating. But there's a part of you that keeps holding you back, so you want to address that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Excellent. On point.
Well, I was clearing your energy in the meantime. because Joanna also mentioned like an energetic blockage. I'm removing your energetic blockages, and I keep getting, take a month to yourself, maybe to just relax, travel, go on vacation, and another month trying to focus on getting the job and looking at different job leads. So I keep getting like in the hard time of 2 months, I keep getting that you are going to start to be very busy. Like each area of your life will start to be activated. And it's very important that you take this time now to enjoy life, to have some fun, because very soon you are going to find yourself very busy. And very, very strongly, I keep getting for you that you need to go on vacation this year. You've got to make it happen, especially when you mentioned the love part. So go on vacation this year. Make it happen. And for some reason, when I was clearing your energy, I keep getting like a blockage of energy during the time that maybe you moved. Did you move from one residence to another, maybe recently?
No, not recently. I did it in 2007 when my mother died. I left my place and moved into her place.
Okay, so when I clear energy, sometimes I could be clearing for energies for events that happened maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but the energy of it, somehow it's still blocking you. So I'm clearing this energy as far back as to when that move happened.
Thank you.
In your physical body, it's kind of clearing for you to kind of breathe better. I keep getting some sort of either stress or some other physical condition that maybe is preventing you from breathing like you should.
Yes, it's extremely amount of stress. Yes, ma'am. Extremely amount of stress.
All right. So
like my daughter is an addict.
I cleared a little bit of the energy, and let's see what happens. That means that pretty much you are now connected to the universe directly, and be open because the universe knows better what to bring you next.
Right.
Okay.
Also, one last thing before we let you go, Helen. I was shown your back, and I was showing you bending over and then holding your lower back. So it is either because you have some symptoms of lower back pain, or if you end up lifting something, please be mindful of your lower back. Okay?
Yes.
And that is incidentally
connected
to support. Back. Yes.
Okay.
That is connected to the lower chakras that we talked about.
Oh,
okay?
Thank you so much. God
Best
bless both of you,
sweetheart.
Thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome.
I'm going to keep watching you. I love you. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, sweetie.
Oh, look at.
All right.
Area code 248 is joining us now. Who's that and where are you?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. What is your name, sweetie?
Christina.
Christina. Okay, Christina. How can Ama and I help you?
I was actually wanting to know if my family's prospects as far as financial-wise will get better, hopefully in this coming year, or if we're on the right path.
Okay, so what I'm being shown an obvious upheaval. I'm looking at a freaking mountain, and it looks to me like it's very steep, and you are still on the bottom of the mountain. This is a metaphor. However, the next vision I have is you are at the top of the mountain. So it tells me that there is going to be some sort of recovery. Now, the recovery is connected to last year, obviously, but I also want to go back almost 2 years ago. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does, actually.
It does? Okay. But I also feel, and what they're showing me here, that this seems to be almost like a repeat of something that has happened long before. Does that make any sense to you? You might want to think about that at some point.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The point is that they're saying to me that you are facing this once again. So it's almost like I feel like I'm in a hole.
Yeah.
Whether it's financial hole or like I'm in a hole. Does that, yes? Okay. This is going to sound really weird, but when you think about it, I feel it's going to make sense to you. They're asking me to connect this feeling to your dad.
Yeah.
You're going like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
But does that make sense to you?
No. Yeah. Very much
it does.
So, yeah.
It does make sense? Okay. As long as it makes sense, I'm not going to elaborate on it because they're saying she knows exactly what this means. You need to take care of whatever that is within you so that you don't have to end up in this place again. It's disappointment.
Yes.
Okay. And I feel it in my chest, and I feel like I just got sucked in and there's this hole in my chest. So there's a sense of disappointment here. What I'm going to say next is this. For whatever reason, and we're not talking about your dad being good or bad. It has nothing to do with it. This is just pinpointing pieces to add things together so that you can understand the bigger picture of why things are happening and why you're attracting certain things. In the back of your mind, now this is going to be conscious for you. You expect things to fail you and you expect to be disappointed.
Because it's happened so much these last 2 years. Yeah.
Yes. So it's a vicious cycle because subconsciously we expect it, then it comes to us like, oh shit, there is proof, so therefore I expect it, right?
Yeah.
What they're saying here is go back to this, what happened with your dad in your mind and reconstruct the movie, so to speak, so that you have a favorable outcome. They want you to drain some of that energy that has been keeping you stuck.
Yeah.
And I can feel it in my chest. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get very emotional. So know that you are not tied to this for the rest of your life, but they're saying your hands may have been tied in the past because you didn't know how to deal with it. Now they're giving you some information that will hopefully help you shed light on what the real reason is and hence why you're attracted. By the way, there's nothing wrong with you. He's asking me to say this. I don't know why, but that phrase exactly. Okay.
Thank you, because I literally, these last 2 years, I think I felt jinxed. I've learned a lot. I will say that. Everything that has happened to me has definitely taught me life lessons. Yes. But I feel as if now I'm done learning. Please, I'm done.
You want to move forward. They're showing me you picking up, and this is a metaphor, I see you picking up a beautiful white daisy. And I see you taking this daisy and you cherish it for what it is. And I'm asking my guide, what is this? And they're saying lost innocence.
Very much, yeah.
Okay, and I just want to cry. So that is an area for you to focus on, and know you're not tied to this for the rest of your life, but it is your choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
Ama?
Thank you so much. I know you have other people, but I appreciate you, and I watch your show.
I know.
On YouTube. I love you.
You're going to make me cry now. Ama, do you have anything?
I really do. I so appreciate your gift. And I'm not one that normally goes for this stuff, but you make sense to me. You do.
That's good. Because I was talking to Ama before the show and I said, my purpose is to help people understand what makes them stuck so they could change their future. That's my passion.
Yeah. And you do. And the fact that you remind me that our loved ones aren't always gone.
Yes.
I think that was a big help for me.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, Ama, sorry.
So for you, I can tell you that emotionally, there's a connection between this year and what was happening in your life in the year 2000, between 2000 and 2005. I keep getting that a lot of emotions, dilemmas, questions, in some ways are related to what was happening in your life, especially in the year 2000. And they are saying that right now you are preparing to do exactly that. Another big transformation that is going to renew the very sense of who you are. In terms of your finances, the next 2 years are going to be very important to improve your finances. In a spiritual sense, it's not necessarily about how much money are you going to make. No. It is about financially feeling free, financially not to be tied down or not to have any financial attachments that make you feel limited. So you are going to feel more free spiritually, but also financially, you are going to be more independent. However, they are also showing me one last bump in the road before you get there. And sometime maybe in July or August, you are meant to have some minor problems, but then you are going to be okay. Okay? And then after that, you are going in a steady way, feel more confident, more stable with money and finances in your life. So after that point, after August, and the next 2 years after that is going to be a little bit more favorable for your financial, for your finances in general. And also a lot of what will happen will be dictated when you are ready. Because in your case, I keep getting that a lot of it is totally up to your free will, more so than it is up to fated events. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, is the year 2000, 2005 important to you in some ways? Because that came up several times.
The year 2000, there's a lot that happened. My little brother was first sick.
I see.
And from when he got sick to when he passed, it was a little bit of a roller coaster for me in those couple of years. And from that on, it's been a little bit difficult for me because I truly believe he was the innocence in our home. And losing him was a great loss for my whole family, not just for me, obviously my mother first and foremost. But it's just been a little hard ever since then to try to shake everything. And thank God gave me two amazing gifts, my two boys. But after that it was a bit difficult. Yeah.
I see. That's why they kept bringing that year up a few times. So maybe, it's meant for you to get a deeper sense of healing from, whatever was happening in your life during that time. Maybe that's why that was so important that it came up.
There was no healing for me. I totally, what I did was, it happened, we lost him, and I ran away from it because the pain was too much.
Of course.
So I just ran away from it. I couldn't deal with it. And now slowly, I keep getting these little signs that only he and I would know about. There's no way that it's a coincidence. I can't see it that way anymore because it's happening in front of my face bluntly.
Yeah, it's interesting that my guide talked about innocence, and I when I get this stuff, I have no connection to it. And when you were picking up that white daisy, to me, white daisy symbolizes spirit at its purest form. So maybe this was a vision of you preserving the innocence of something so incredible as nature's, beauty, like a white daisy, and that's obviously a metaphor. So wow.
And he definitely was.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
One last thing before we let you go, because I'm hearing that we have several calls. I see you writing intensely, whether it is in your journal or whether you are writing something like a book, blog. I see you writing. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Check mark on that. Continue. Keep doing that. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Christina. Guys. You're welcome.
Night.
Best of luck to you. Thank you so much. Oh, great, Ama. That was fantastic.
And now we are joined by 510. If you could turn off your radio, please.
Yes. Turn it off? Okay. I see you writing. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, very much so, yeah.
Check mark.
Okay.
Hello. How are you and what is your name?
My name is Keely.
Keely, can you turn down your radio, please?
Okay, I'm trying. I'm trying to turn it down.
Oh, you might have another tab opened where this is playing, so you might have to close the tab. There it is.
My name is Keely.
We'll call you, well,
Okay.
you can call in again later.
Figure out?
Okay.
Yeah.
Area code 201. Have you got your speakers muted?
Hello.
Hello. How are you and what is your name?
Hi, I'm fine, Joanna. How is Ama too?
Sorry?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, Ama, yes. What is your name, sweetie?
My name is Maria.
Maria. How can we help you, Maria?
I just want to know how my finances are gonna be because they are very bad right now. And how do you see me in general?
Okay. Do you want me to start?
That is a little bit of a difficult question, because I keep getting that you did make some bad choices when it came to money in the past, and your financial situation is suffering because as a result of some bad decisions in the past. For you, I keep getting May. May is going to be an important turning point. However, they are not giving me more information as to what they mean by that. How are your finances going to receive this turning point? May seems to be very much important for your finances. But for some reason, I'm shown, do you have 2 jobs, or anyone in your family has 2 jobs?
No. One of my sisters.
You may end up working or having 2 jobs, because I'm shown like a second financial source that will create that opportunity to make your financial situation better.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that this is, from what I'm gathering, this is not really connected with your sister in a deep sense. This is only about you and your personal finances.
Okay.
Maria, sorry, when you asked that question, I saw you, it's a metaphor, digging ditches. To me, it is hard work. So they showed me that you will be working really hard in order to recover. But I asked for more information, and what I got is very interesting, because what I got is the Devil card, which is about unhealthy attachments and addictions. We don't have to be addicted just to drugs. We can be addicted to giving money. We can be addicted to overhelping. And the next card you got is the Moon, which is facing your fears. And this is directly connected to your lack of sense of abundance. They're asking you to look at your quote-unquote unhealthy attachments.
Okay, because I just, I always give more than I have.
Okay, why do you do that?
So
Aside from being, wonderfully giving, when it affects you negatively and you do not have for you, you have to now understand, why do you make this action? Because there's always a reason. If there was no reason, you wouldn't do it. So when we go over and above our means in order to help somebody over and over and over, there is an underlying psychological and emotional thing that you need to address. And we do this for various reasons. We were taught that way. We were taught that giving to ourselves is not healthy or sin. We were taught that we're not good, therefore we always have to give in order to belong. There's a gazillion reasons why emotionally we do it. So they're asking you, because that's also a card of being around money, they're asking you to look at those deeper aspects of yourself and ask yourself the question, why do I do this and what do I get from it?
No, they teach me, that giving is a good thing.
Of course it is. But not when you give away yourself. That isn't good.
Yes,
so they're not talking about not giving. They're talking about giving of yourself to the point that you have spent yourself and now you have nothing for you.
Yes,
you see the difference?
Exactly how I am, yes.
Yes. So what they're saying here is the reason why you're having financial difficulties is because your expectation for yourself around abundance does not exist.
Okay, so what can I do to make it better?
So
awareness is first, but go ahead, Ama. Yeah.
I keep hearing, do you have difficulties saying no if you are asked for help, for anything?
Oh, yeah.
Do you find yourself very difficult to say no?
Yes, that's my problem. I cannot say, people ask me, and my problem is I'm not used to saying no.
Okay. So, as a result, you are draining your own energy to empower the energy of other people. Okay? So you are overgiving. So, to me, that is an indicator that your root chakra is being depleted.
Yeah.
So you can try to boost your root chakra, also known as the base chakra, by wearing more red, walking barefoot on the ground so you can feel the connection of earth, the connection of the ground on your feet. maybe do some breathing work or any meditation that would involve breathing, and try to dance, try to move your hips, any movements that would involve you moving your hips, like dancing or just exercises that would involve you moving your hips. So by you moving that energy in your body, it's going to help you shift the energy of how you feel, how you think, and it's going to help you to feel more connected, to feel more grounded, to feel that Earth is going to support you, and is going to boost eventually the outer chakra, the solar plexus, so you get to say no. So you feel like you have the inner power. You are worthy.
Maria, when you give and when you don't have enough of yourself and you keep doing that, what do you think is going to happen if you don't give? What are you afraid of losing?
No, I'm not afraid. The thing is, I feel sorry for people, and if I can...
Maria, I guarantee you that you are afraid of losing something. It's just you're not aware of it. I guarantee it to you, because otherwise you wouldn't do it.
Okay.
Amma, do you understand what I mean?
I completely understand what you mean, but she's more prone to feel sorry for people, and then she forgets that she has to feel sorry for herself first, and you have to give what you can afford. Because the energy flows, the money flows. So, feeling sorry is great, it's great, but try to put yourself first.
Yes,
but also feeling sorry does not empower those individuals to help themselves so they can be strong and understand their own strength. So you always have to look, sometimes we give, but then at a certain point we enable people to not get their own strength. So it's a very fine line.
Yes, I understand.
Right? Just make sure that when you don't give, it's because you're afraid that if you don't give, you're going to be rejected or not liked, or people are going to judge you harshly. Because the reason why we do things is because it serves a purpose. If it didn't serve a purpose, whether known or unknown, that is most of the time on a subconscious level. So, but just go with Ama, because I think what I'm saying is a little bit out there right now. But just having awareness of it should help you to make a different choice, because that you have control over.
And plus, when people always are used to you helping and you overgive, at some point they're not going to be grateful. They're just going to be expecting that of you.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And
You're very welcome, Maria. You too. Thanks for calling. That was good. Those are the hard things sometimes.
We have another caller with the unknown phone number, so it may be coming in through Skype or something. So,
all right.
Caller on the line. Hello, this is you. You're live on air.
Are you talking to me?
You're the one we're talking to. Hello, who are you and whereabouts are you?
My name is Michelle and I'm calling from Canada.
Hello, Michelle. What can we do for you? Nice to hear from you.
Well, is that Joanna?
Yes.
Joanna,
it is.
I would like for you to be able to tell me how I can move forward with my life. Mm-hmm. And is there anybody that is guiding me?
So right away when I tune into your energy, they're showing me that there is a barrier in front of you which you are not crossing. However, the barrier is low enough and also tall enough that you can either go under it or over it. And what they're showing to me is that for the most part, you are stopping yourself.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Well, it does and it doesn't. I'm stopping myself because of the pain that is being created, and I just can't seem to get rid of that. So how do I...
Okay, let me just see here. Okay, because what he's showing me, he's literally showing me you touching a point where it's like a barrier, but right on the other side of that barrier is in your beginning. And as you're touching it, you're looking back. Do you have a tendency to look back at what happened or what was lost or what was painful, and focusing a lot of attention in the back, like in the past?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I can't get past that.
Okay.
That particular barrier, yes.
Okay, so I'm asking him to, he's asking me to say this to you. If you can find a way to see this particular situation from a higher perspective, so imagine yourself removing yourself from that equation and kind of almost seeing yourself like from a spirit's point of view, and notice what you can get from that situation as it pertains to your own strength and growth. Because they're saying to me, you're missing the vital ingredient as to what this is giving you. And when you get to that point, it'll be easier for you to let it go because your attachment to it will be different. Right now you're letting it drag you down.
Oh yes, it's dragging me down, and that's the reason I'm asking is what specifics can I do? I can't help but look forward with the loss. It's so excruciating, and yet I know I've got to move forward, and yet I can't seem to. What is it I have to do? What is that barrier you said that I have to get past specifically?
You keep looking back at what was. That is your reference point, and you keep focusing attention there. When we focus attention to something that is in the back, you can't go forward. Literally, you are preventing yourself from going forward because you are focusing on what happened.
I can't help it. I'm living through it. Yes. So my question is, I would like to move forward. So how do I leave the past behind?
Okay. So do you?
Laughing at me?
When you talk about,
yes, I wanted to say something. Sorry.
When we talk about a perspective, are you able to look at this situation from a different perspective and see if you can find ways to connect to it differently?
I have tried, but no, there's really no way. I've tried looking at it from a different perspective, and yes, I can, but at the same time, the loss is so great. And I'm just wondering, is there somebody guiding me up there, any of my family members that can tell me what it is I need to do to move forward?
Ama?
Do you mind if
I think you had something, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Immediately when I heard your voice on the phone, I am getting that you have a very strong ancestral connection to the male line of the family. The ancestral family is the family that you all will be reincarnated in each and every lifetime. They're not necessarily only the people in this lifetime. So you have a very strong connection with like paternal figures or like somebody who's a brother, a grandfather. So male family line. And I was laughing because Joanna kept talking about your emotional attachment, and I keep getting that you need to learn how to detach. So me and Joanna are very aligned because I keep getting the same information but in a different way. So it's very important. I keep getting that you forgive them, and then once you learn how to do that, you're going to learn how to detach. The detachment is going to be automatic. Now, you did ask for maybe something more practical, anything that you can do so you can learn that, okay? So, for you, I keep getting, why don't you try for the next 4 to 6 weeks? Try to do maybe 3 things of the list that I'm about to tell you. Number one, try to wear more white for the next 4 to 6 weeks, okay? So more white. You may choose, for example, maybe a white scarf, for example. Okay? So choose to do that. You may wear more jewelry that is real. So don't wear any fake jewelry. Like maybe if you choose to wear your golden necklace, make sure that it's real gold, for example. So jewelry that is real.
That's all I do, yes.
Okay, so try to wear more jewelry that is real for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And try
to wear more jewelry?
Yeah, jewelry that is real. Jewelry that is real. So be conscious about your choices of jewelry. Make sure that it's real.
Okay.
Okay? Try to write a letter, either to the person that you need to forgive, or also write a letter to that person. But in your mind, so are you trying to get over exactly what? Like grieving, regret?
Grief.
Grief. Okay. So so grief and regret, for some reason for you, they came together. Try to write a letter. Okay? What would you tell to that person? Okay? What would you tell to yourself? Okay? So try to write a letter in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, you don't have to mail it or anything, just...
No, I understand that.
Write a letter to your self. Let me see what else I can do with that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
Oh, and it's very, right now that we are talking together, do you have any visible clutter in your home? For example, do you have any dishes in the sink, or maybe you have to take out the trash, or any clutter that is visible?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of clutter.
Okay, so it's very important that you start to declutter. So little by little, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, try to get rid of stuff, okay? Organize and get rid of it. Because I keep getting that there is a connection for you, especially between grieving and clutter. So try to clear the clutter and reduce the visual clutter. You don't have to worry about your closets, but worry about the visual clutter. And it's also very important that you get in touch with your senses, especially with your sense of smell. You know how food smells, how flowers smell, how a perfume smells. So do some exercises like that when you train your sense of smell. Smell beautiful things. Okay. And it's also very important that you create a place in your home that you feel sacred. For example, you can create a corner of your home like with stones or with angels or like a picture of Mother Mary. Anything that you are drawn to according to your own beliefs. Okay? To you, what does it mean to be sacred? Okay? And if you could get some acupuncture maybe, if you want to do that, you only need one session, maybe in the next 4 to 6 weeks. And try to bring in your home shapes that could be round or spherical. So purchase something that is within your means, within your budget, that to decorate your home that either has the shape round or spherical.
Okay.
Okay, so
it has to be anything like stone or anything, or just round?
Exactly, yes. So you don't have to do everything in that list. Just choose to do only 3 of them that are easier for you to do, and try to do them in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So especially the exercise about decluttering. By you decluttering your home little by little, that's going to train your brain to let go.
Yeah.
That's really interesting that you said that.
Michelle, as you and Ama are talking, I asked my guide for a card for you, and it's just like this stuff just every single time. I'm like a kid in a candy store, because you have the card of regeneration, and the card literally says, "That which no longer serves you, let it die." It literally says, this is what it says: don't be afraid to face the fact. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. This is what the eclipse is going to help you do, because it's going to bring it in your face.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm hoping that this really will work for me, because this loss has been great and I just can't seem to shake it.
Michelle, it cannot not work for you. You know why? Because you are the one in charge of this. I know it sounds crazy for me to say that, but I see it from a different angle.
Okay.
I see. That's why they're saying, because you and Emma were talking about grief, and they're saying you do not need to struggle or grieve. You don't need to do that. unless you want to. But it is about letting go. So it's exactly what Ama said. And yes, the decluttering of your home, which will be connected to various other things that has an emotional attachment, you are letting it go. You are also emotionally letting it go as well. So just like Amat says, it's training you to let go. Good job. Well done.
Thank
you. Good luck, and thanks so much for calling.
Thank you, ladies. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. It's hard with these things, and especially like Michelle says, I hope it works. And I think you, like myself, I can see it from a different perspective. So I know it can work because that's what she is here to accomplish. It's just a matter of the person. Sometimes we get so stuck on thinking we can't, and sometimes it serves us, right? So sometimes it's very difficult.
So that's why I was trying to give her those little pointers.
I know.
So, kind of psychologically training to do that, and then everything else happens naturally. A
little bit easier. Yeah. Believe it or not, our hour is up. So what we will do, let's see if we can have a minute or two for a little break. We can grab ourselves a drink, and then we will welcome Max for our second portion of the show. And we will talk all about healing, energy, eclipses, and all the good stuff. And we might even take a caller or two. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Joanna's still not quite back. So welcome back.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, we're back on the air.
Okay. Okay. So we're back live, I believe.
Yeah,
for those of you who are hanging on, we have an exciting second hour. We will talk energy. My next guest is going to join us. His name is Max. So whenever he's ready, we will welcome him in. And we will talk about energy healing. Ama is going to talk about the eclipses and how the eclipses are or will affect all of us going forward. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to talk about. Ama has also a lot more knowledge when it comes to astrology. Mine is more of a psychological nature. So I'm actually excited to hear what she has to say. So Ama, before we bring on Max, so tell us a little bit about the eclipse. Like we talked about it briefly at the very beginning.
Yes.
But I know you have a whole bunch of information, so take it away.
At the beginning, I talked about how it will affect all of us at a personal level, dealing with our own matters of authenticity. If any relationship is authentic, does your job feel authentic to who you are? And you are going to question, like, what is your role? What do you contribute to the collective consciousness? The second portion of that, I keep getting that, is to deal with fate and destiny. So in this case, in 2018, fate will decide to intervene during this time. Therefore, you may feel the vibration of angels and spirit guides, because angels and spirit guides actually do have permission to intervene in some cases. And you're going to feel like you are dealing with things that are fated. For example, marriages, divorces, birth, death, everything that is meant to be. So there's going to be a little bit of sense of on everybody. You're going to find yourself saying like, oh, that was meant to be, particularly in the next 6 months. Now, it may also happen because the doors to both realms, the light and the darkness, will be temporarily open 2 days before and 2 days after the eclipse. Some people are going to feel that energy very heavily. You may also have a sense of being misguided. Okay? So something that you believe that is real may not be real. Okay? So a sense of being misguided. And you are going to be forced to deal with reality, especially for those people who maybe are still dealing with denial. They still need healing. They need to deal with their emotions. So you're going to be forced to deal with your own reality. And for other people, it's going to be about them learning to let go of some of the control and let the universe take care of it. Let the universe guide you. So for other people, it's going to be learn to be more adaptable, learn to go with the flow. At the world level, I keep getting that many world leaders, politicians, famous people, celebrities, They are going to be more and more on TV, on social media, and they are going to talk a little bit more about their personal private matters. They're going to hear in a global level about a different part of these celebrities, public figures, politicians, celebrities. We're going to know a little bit more about their private life, and many are going to find out if they are authentic to who you are they misrepresenting themselves, what is real about them. I also kept getting that there's going to be a lot of scandals happening during this time, especially around, so a lot of scandals, but there's going to be a lot of news around breakups and divorces. So many people will see that around them, either people are surprisingly getting together or surprisingly are divorcing. Finances is another aspect, and they talked at a world level for all of us as a collective. We're going to be talking about finances in the luxury, in the higher end, the rich people, but we are also going to talk about poverty and how that is affecting everybody's life. I also keep getting that the middle class will be more and more in the spotlight. In different countries, different politicians are going to address significant issues with the middle class. And I would not be surprised if there's also some protests here and there. Okay, because people are going to be fighting for their right. I also get that a few politicians, presidents around the world, or people in a position of power and authority, they could be pushing particularly to either pass certain laws, addendums, or to push their agendas, and they may be running into resistance for other people who don't like to push their agendas. And I also kept getting that you may hear this shocking, surprising news that different leaders throughout the world, or CEOs, or vice presidents, or different companies, for example, they may be announcing they are suddenly retiring, or they are suddenly giving up their seat. Weather is going to be acting up again, because I've shown in different parts of the world, people having to deal with natural disasters and stuff of that nature. Particularly, they showed me the map, and they showed me different parts of Florida and south of Canada. Now, understand, I'm not very familiar with the map of Canada, but for some reason, they showed me the south of Canada. And again, they talked about people protesting in different countries of the world. You may also hear, talks around a declaration of war in some countries. Some other people are going to be talking about, for example, like a declaration on war or like different matters, like maybe like on unemployment. We're declaring war on employment. We're declaring war on criminals. Okay, so that's going to be a word that will be mentioned, particularly this year. And also, different members of the media, like journalists, TV personalities, news anchors, they are going to be under attack. Because and many of them will be held accountable, especially if they did say or posted or wrote any fake news. So a lot of attention will be on journalists and media, again, because people are going to question, is this news real? Is this news fake? So whoever needs to be accountable, they may be called in the public eye, so to speak, to be accountable. So that's going to be in the world level. But they also mentioned that Lady Diana, for some reason, will be mentioned a lot again. Lots of conversation will be coming up around Lady Diana again.
I wonder if it has anything to do with Prince Harry getting married.
And the marriage. The way it came to me, they said it's not necessarily related to that. There's going to be, again, about the situation surrounding her death, more so.
Interesting.
They also said that you may hear of people dealing with depression, or maybe they had depression and now they're going to be openly talking about depression and maybe their suicidal thoughts. There's going to be a lot of these famous people opening up about these very private matters. and that's how they're going to connect, because ordinary people, regular people like us, they also have the same problems. So they're going to come forward with that, making regular people more inclined to come out and to talk about these painful feelings. There's going to be an increase in political prisoners around the world. Particularly, they showed me places in South of Africa. So the state South Africa, but particularly the countries that are located in South of Africa. They also mentioned Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Then after that, they did show me Egypt. There's going to be some sort of a temporary do not enter in Egypt for particular countries. Maybe not to all of the countries. They did brought up something significant with Egypt happening. And the Canadian Prime Minister, there's going to be like a TV crew, producers, directors. They are thinking of doing a very special documentary about his private life, like his home life. I don't know if the show will be aired in 2018, but definitely he will be having a lot of offers and requests. People want to know more about him. So they want to, take a look into his private life. And every time they mention the Prime Minister, the Canadian Prime Minister, I don't remember right now what his name is, they keep sending me this feeling of love. So I feel like this character is very loved. I mean, you're in Canada, so you may tell me more about that.
If I could just pause for a second with you. Okay. When you were saying this, and I was asking my guides for more information, I saw kidneys. So I don't know whether...
it's going to be medical breakthroughs. That's what
okay.
So not particularly about kidney, but there's going to be a lot of scientific breakthrough and medical breakthrough.
But I wonder if the Prime Minister is going to have some kidney issues, but also the other thing is...
May also be that. I don't know what you got right. May also be that. But I know that there's going to be something important about, like a documentary about him.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's psychic and intuitive gifts,
different.
They are all going to receive another boost, another increase.
Yeah, what I also want to say for those of you guys who this makes sense to, you may have an issue with the kidney, or if there is a long-standing issue with kidney, this could also be like a urinary tract infection. That I know that's really weird and just kind of very specific, but just for whatever reason that's coming up. So maybe keep an eye on this, particularly those of you who are prone to this kind of thing. And it's interesting because kidneys are about filtering.
Exactly.
What is kidney? Because acupuncture. What does kidney filter?
So
what
kidney,
emotion?
Kidney is known to be the producer of energy in your body. Kidneys are responsible for producing your body's vitality and energy. Mentally, kidneys are related to the feelings of fear, of abandonment, fear of money. Fear of being homeless, for example, feelings of security, what makes you feel safe and secure at a mental level. And also it's related to the most very private part of you, the most private aspect of your life, and the most private aspect of your thoughts and emotions. So
the inner, the hidden and the inner. Interesting.
Yeah, and also that feeling of survival.
So because when you were talking, I pulled out a few cards pertaining to this eclipse. And it's interesting because I got two opposing forces. One is the Magician, which is all about creation, it's manifestation. But on the flip side of this is Nine of Swords in reverse, which is hopelessness. So those are two polar opposites. And it's just kind of this juxtaposition that's being shown to me. So what I'm going to further go with the kidneys, if there's any fears that come up, just kind of, guys, if you have any back pain or lower side, make sure that you check it out if it bugs you for a prolonged period of time, because, like Ama says, if it does trigger some deep-rooted, deep-seated fears, your organs may start telling you this.
Yeah, there's a meridian. Right. That parts of the meridian, they're going to be like in the part beyond your ear. They extend through the throat, so it's connected to the throat. Goes all the way, goes across the lungs, all the way down to your kidney, and it ends up on the bottom of the throat. So medically, these body parts are connected. So if there's a blockage in the meridian, one of these organs may receive like a depletion in energy. So beyond the ear, the throat, the voice, the lungs, the breathing, what else? Yeah, the kidney and also the bottom of the foot.
And very appropriately so, as you're talking, I'm asking additionally my guides for more information. And this is really time when, particularly for those of us who are very sensitive to these energetic shifts, we will have a tendency to pick this up not only sooner, but also much more intensely. This is really a time where going within and seeking peace within, while the outside may not necessarily reflect that peace yet. It seems to be the focus right now.
Exactly, inner peace. Yeah.
Inner peace. Yeah. I mean, I always say at the end of the day, what does every human want? Peace. Because if we have peace, we have everything. And nothing outside of us can give it to us permanently. So Ama, we talked at the beginning, or actually before the show, and I know some other people have been feeling this. I have been feeling energetically drained for a while. You said people were going to pick this up. So tell us a little bit about that.
It was a combination of different planetary movements and everything. Right before an eclipse, many people tend to feel like that. Some people that are very sensitive, they do feel it very strongly, even 3 to 4 weeks before an eclipse happens. Other people, they may be feeling it, this emotional downside, particularly after the eclipse. So we also had some like Saturn, Jupiter. We had like a combination of different planetary movements. And also, we are meant to deal with our own personal issues. That's why that was happening. It is an indicator to us that deep down, maybe we need to address some issues that we are not aware of. So emotionally, decluttering our emotional house, thus being more open once we deal with our internal world, internal thought, spiritually with ourselves again. Thus, we're going to be a little bit more prone and be open to the life-changing events that are going to happen this year. What else? I was about to say something else, but now it's escaping my mind. So, and also a lot of energies were a lot more closer to Earth. So for people like me and you, for example, that are very sensitive, they feel that energy weighing much more heavily. Than it actually is. But also at the same time, I could feel like the realm, the angelic realm also, people felt it a little bit more. So there were also, other forces in motion to counterbalance that. There were a lot of deaths that I heard, like a lot of sadness, all of these kind of faded events.
What they're showing me as you were talking, and again, when it comes to astrology, I have practically zero information other than, the 12 zodiac signs and their basic dates. But they showed me here that this particular eclipse, I believe, is in a sign of Leo, or in a Leo, house of Leo. Is that true?
Leo 11 degrees, yes.
Because they showed it to me and I said, okay, so, and what is Leo about? Leo is all about empowerment. It's being visible. It's being out there. It's the sun. And so this is very much a time where things will be lifted from our energy in order to expose our strength. And that is never, in my experience, an easy walk in the park. It just simply isn't. And I know for those of us who do the spiritual work, for example, I'll share a personal story. My guides work with me various ways, but I seem to be changing every few months. And it's always like, just when I get comfortable with one way of receiving, boom, they change it again. And over the last few weeks, I have felt like I wasn't connecting, but it wasn't that I wasn't connecting. It's just the way I was receiving information was so different that my own stuff was coming up to surface. So for those of you who have been feeling a little bit, disconnected, yet you still know you're connected, maybe you'll resonate with this, because that's really what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to expose our quote unquote weaknesses.
And also we needed to take some time off. That was an indicator to all of us that we need some time for ourselves, some time to recuperate, some time to reflect. And as a psychic, or everybody who does spiritual work, that was happening because of this increase in intuition and psychic ability that is happening. You know, when that happens to a psychic, that means that you have to go through that period. It usually lasts 2 to 3 weeks, maximum a month. Then you'll see that the connection to the sacred, the connection to the source, to the divine, however you would like to define it, gets easier. Something changes. During this time, also, if you work with angels or if you work with spirit guides, a new spirit guide usually shows up for you. Or now you get to connect with another realm, a higher vibration realm, or another angel. So and everybody feels that in a different way. So during this time, people get that gut feeling, but they don't know how to explain it. Or they get like a premonition, they feel that something is about to happen, but they don't know how to explain that feeling.
Right. One of the things in my meditation today when I was meditating in the middle of the day, and I'm going to share this with you guys because it was said to me, but I know it pertains to every single human being. My guide literally said to me, he said, why do you take everything so seriously? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm passionate about my work. I love helping people, and I want to be the best that I can be. And he said to me, he says, you're taking it way too seriously. He says, have fun with it. And I listened to him and I'm going, that's a foreign concept. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Probably most people feel the same way. But Spirit often said to me, we take life too seriously. Now, I always go back and I say, well, try being in our shoes, right? But yes, there is this message to, for everybody to see if we can find some lightness amongst the darkness, because that will help us get through those dark moments. Does that make sense, Ama?
Yes, during one of my meditations, I was doing a meditation with the Akashic Records, and they did say, everyone has to go through this. You have to go through a dark tunnel, because you have to recognize the light. You're not going to be there forever. It's just a transition. It's just a transformative energy, and at the end, you're going to see the light. Yeah. So both are important. So they both have their own importance. And another energy connected to this eclipses, everybody's going to question what's their purpose. Do I need to change my career?
Yes.
Now, so everybody's going to be propelled to move forward by finding maybe a job that makes them happy, not necessarily a job that you need to have a job to pay your bills. So you're going to be propelled to be more authentic to originally who you were meant to be. You are getting closer to who were you meant to be before, the education that you got in the family shaped you, the religion, society, circles that you belong to. So purely you, who you were meant to be. And that's why people feel like that, like you're going through a tunnel, through a dark tunnel. And then at the end, there's going to be light. I have a very important connection with lunar eclipses. Mm-hmm. The very first lunar eclipse happened on my birthday. I'm not sure. I think it was 2014. On the same day of my birthday, there was a major storm in Boston. Okay? Like never before. We broke a record that day. I had to move. I was forced to move that day because I couldn't postpone it anymore. No moving company would help me to move because the weather was so dangerous. They were afraid. So I was running out of time. I had to move. I had my friends helping me, and I also had a moving company. So I was forced to move on the day of my birthday, plus there was this major eclipse. And then 6 months after that, there was another eclipse, because eclipses tend to happen, if they happen at the beginning of the year, then again, you're going to see them after 6 months. So lunar and solar eclipse, they do happen within 2 weeks of each other. And on the next turn, it was again a lunar eclipse in Leo and a solar eclipse in Aquarius. Again, just like this year. Again, and 6 months after that, my home burned down. Like a neighbor set the whole building on fire by accident. I lost everything, and my neighbors did too. So I didn't have insurance. I didn't have renter's insurance. So again, I was forced to move out. And then after that, I recognized who my true friends were, who came to my rescue. Okay, who genuinely loved me. And I ended up opening an office. And the office is located in walking distance from my home. So it was meant to be. It started with a big bang. It was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I just started to have like an increase, like readings came easier, followers. Started to have a lot more followers. So I had all of these faded events.
What they're showing me here, that these eclipses, whatever transpires and whatever is being brought up to surface will have, and whatever we start, will have far, far, far reaching consequences. So this time is very much about setting forth functions, parameters, new foundations that will have far-reaching effects in our life. So this is about long-term here. That's what they're showing me.
Long-term effects, yeah.
Long-term, yeah.
Long-term effects. So for example, you find it's about during one of the callers, she had a question about her career, and your answer was it's about take your time to think because you need to find a career that's going to be long lasting. So that's the general energy. So anything that's going to be long lasting in your life.
Right. Just to stop you for a second, Ama, I don't know where my guest is, so I guess we'll just continue until he calls, or maybe he doesn't. I know he lives. So?
Can you hear me now?
Oh my gosh, Max, yes, we can hear. I was wondering what happened. I texted you and nothing. Oh my goodness, how are you, Max?
Great. Oh, could I say something quick?
Yes, please.
On Michelle's call, she needs to relax in the center between the second and the third chakra. Her stomach is always tense and her heart is always tense. She needs to learn to relax those two areas. And the lady that you told her the first and the second chakras were blocked that had problems with the lower back.
Right.
If she goes to the doctor again, just have him check her thyroid.
Wow. So for every one of you who are listening, Max is a really good friend of mine. He is a former ordained minister, and he performed exorcism for 30 or 35 years. He doesn't do that anymore. He now works with energies, and we're both learning tremendously from each other. And sometimes I'll have an inquiry from a client that is more about, a pesky spirit, or there's something energetically. I kind of connect with Max, and he tunes in, and he's just another amazing person in my life. So that was interesting. Thank you, Max, for those two callers, because that will be very, very helpful.
Michelle maybe would pick up on meditation. It would help her a great deal.
Yeah, I think meditation for everybody. I always say, when people say meditation doesn't work for me, and my guide says it's because they're trying not to think. That ain't gonna happen. The easiest way to meditate, to start, is to lose yourself in a beautiful memory. Every single human being, I believe, has at least one memory that they truly enjoy. Lose yourself in the concept of going back in that memory and enveloping yourself in those emotions. And that's called meditation. It's that simple. That's simple, because it allows you to focus within as opposed to outside. And once you practice that, everything else will come easier later on. But I always say that is a form of meditation that will be tremendously successful because you don't have to try anything. It's just there for you, available. So what should be good to do, guys? Should we take a call and see if we can pick up on people's energy? What do you think?
Whatever you like to do.
Max, are you up for it?
Oh, I'm with you guys.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a call, and the person can ask a question, and we will, you guys will energetically connect and see if we can give them answers from an energetic point of view.
Let me say, Hilton, on the benign kidneys, I have a two-edged sword that was given me in the spirit, and I don't pick up any problem with her kidneys, benign tumors. I don't.
Okay, good.
See, there's a problem, so.
That was in the chat line, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that person, Max, just answered your question. I think I heard a caller. Caller, hello?
Hi.
Hi. How are you? What is your name?
Keely.
Hi, Keely. How can we help you?
I have a question. I have a lot of questions, but, I have applied for a new job. I'm starting over in life and have applied for a new job and have had 3 interviews, and I'm wondering if that position is going to come through for me.
So are you guys going to connect to Keely energetically? Because right away I'm being connected to her solar plexus, and it's dragging me down all the way to first chakra. Any takers?
Spirit of fear, deaf and dumb spirit, which she acquired as a youngster. We could get rid of that. So her self-confidence will change.
Okay.
Make a difference.
So how do we do that, Max?
I'll do that.
Keely?
Yes.
Do you hear that? Don't let that freak you out. It's really nothing.
Okay.
It's not like you have some attachments. Sometimes we have spirit around us who kind of feed on our energy, particularly for those of us who haven't been very empowered.
Right.
And Max seems to have a magic weapon. So have you always felt kind of, because what I get from you is your solar plexus is all about power and empowerment and confidence. And it's like something is taking it down all the way to the first chakra. So first chakra is all about survival. So this is going back to when you were growing up. And I see that there is an upheaval when you were younger, and they're showing me around the age of 5. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, my family moved to a new area, but...
Okay. Because what I get is there's a lot of fear from you, and the feeling is I don't know where I'm going. So there's almost a feeling of displacement. Does that mean anything to you? Yeah? Okay. Therefore, you will also have a tendency to hold on to things. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay. So, Ama, take it away, if you have it.
So I'm just going to give an explanation and maybe some suggestions. Sacral chakra is also connected to vitality, willpower, self-esteem, confidence. Breathing exercises would very much help you with that. So breathing exercises or any meditation that requires breath work. In your body, that is also connected to the pancreas and the adrenal glands. And the psychic power. That's an important source of the psychic power. Psychic power, it means trusting in your own gut feeling. So if you place your hand in front, pretty much 2 fingers below the belly button, okay, and move it up, right above the rib cage, do you feel any vibration there? You can do that yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So try.
Once you tune in, yeah.
Yeah. Or focus your mental energy there. And I also keep getting grounding. There's another mini chakra on the bottom of your feet. When you connect to the earth, it's also known as the Earth Star. Also, it's very important that you keep, you feel grounded. Either take care of plants, cook your own food, won't bear food. So it's all about feeling grounded and feeling like Earth is supporting you. So bring your attention there and make that connection. Ground, going through your body, and then going out to the universe.
Okay.
And as Ama is talking, I'm focusing on the original question that you had, which is about the job. I pulled a card. You got the card of justice, which is fairness, which is a fair decision, which is also a favorable outcome. However, I don't know if it's this one or one right after it, but there is a favorable outcome here. I also see that you are at an end of a cycle. So you are essentially moving from the old to the new. This is very much as well for you, an indication that you are starting fresh in many aspects of your life, not in your job. When I ask the question about what you need to focus on, what I see here is that there may be, at least in the past, tendency to let people help you. In other words, I need to do it alone. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
So being dependent is a phenomenal thing, except when we get to the point where we're so dependent we don't let people in. They're kind of asking you to loosen that grip a little bit on your independence. In other words, let others help you. And that is to do with trust. So that's exactly what Ama was talking about, second chakra.
Okay. I'm also clearing your energetic blockages around your chakra. And now that I'm clearing you, I keep getting like a certain sense of liberation, like around the chest area. Maybe you were a little bit tense when the phone call started. And now I keep getting like a certain ease, like in the breathing. I don't know if you are experiencing anything, but this is how I am perceiving your clearing happening right now. And I'm going to give you another little exercise. For example, when you go at the grocery store, ask for help. Like, can you please reach that for me? Can you help me carry the bags? Learn how to ask for little help here and there. Like, if you are carrying stuff, ask for help. For example, could you please hold the door for me? Mm-hmm. Okay, learn to do it in little ways until you learn how to ask help about the bigger things. Even though you can do it yourself, okay? Or for example, like, could you hold the car door for me? But even though you can do it yourself, why don't you ask instead?
Yeah.
Okay? So by you asking help about little things, you are going to train yourself psychologically to ask for help for bigger things.
Keely, what they're showing me here is that when you really get down to the nitty-gritty, you actually have difficulty receiving, and I have it in my heart. So we get that way for various reasons. Logically, it makes a zero sense, but this stuff has nothing to do with logic. So if you have been fiercely independent, look at one of the reasons why that is, but also notice if you actually have difficulty with receiving. Now, how would you recognize that? Now, one of the first things that I always notice is that when, with me, for example, in the past, when somebody would pay me a compliment, I would cringe. I would always try to deflect how whatever I was being told was not the case. I didn't know how to receive. So you might want to look at your life and see if you have difficulty with receiving, because if that's the case, you are actually, by protecting yourself from whatever reason, you are also keeping that door closed when it comes to you receiving abundance.
Right.
Make sense?
Yes, it does. I've been
Perfect.
working on that.
What about speaking up for yourself? Because I also keep getting your voice, and the way you are being described to me is like you're losing voice.
I do stick up for myself in certain situations.
Yeah, but is that successful? Are you able to like express in a successful way what you are feeling, addressing your needs?
You hold back, don't you?
I do hold back.
Yeah. You hold back. Yeah. So we always do that for a reason. So ask yourself, why do I hold back? If I didn't, what would happen that I'm afraid of? And then you will understand why you do it.
I keep getting self-acceptance, a certain issue with not being welcomed or well accepted.
Well, yeah, she moved and she had a huge upheaval and she felt completely displaced.
Oh, wow.
Around that time.
All right. Yeah. So I'm clearing your energy this whole time, okay? Mm-hmm. So something will change. You may feel like tiny little shifts are happening until, these tiny little shifts in the fullness of time, maybe in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you're going to see the big changes. So anything that needs to happen will happen. I also keep getting like a sense of like I want to cry, but at the same time I'm holding back my tears.
Me too.
So if you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like laughing, laugh. Crying is also healing. So I need to socialize. It feels like the clearing is clearing around your social life. Because sometimes it's important to have like nice people around you. Like a support group. Okay, a family, people who can support you in any way. A lot of clearing is going in that direction.
Also, what I'm getting for you, what I just saw was the symbol of an elephant. So look up a symbol of an elephant as far as what it means as an animal totem. And you might want to get like a little something that's an elephant. It seems they're asking me to say that this is a symbol for you to draw from. Okay? So read about what that means. Elephant, and it'll give you, I think you'll have an aha moment because that's the energy they want you to embody. Okay. I hope this was helpful.
It was.
Best of luck to you, and thank you so much for calling. Take care.
We're now joined by area code 323.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name? Hi, how are you? Arlene, how are you? I'm good, thank you. What can we do for you today?
Well, first of all, I'm really excited to be talking to you. I just recently discovered your YouTube channel, and I was just so immediately drawn and connected that here I am today talking to you on the phone.
Thank you so much.
So the reason I'm calling is I was wondering, I just recently impulsively purchased a ticket to travel, and I'm wondering if everything's going to come to fruition the way that I want it to. Is it a good idea for me to be impulsive and to just pick up and go right now? Like, am I making the right choice?
So, Ama, just let me go get out what it's right in my face. What I see is there is a certain level of comprehension when I look forward, and that's because I feel there is going to be a change of direction. Does that mean anything to you?
It might.
It will. It will. It will. And it seems to be approaching. It's fairly near to me. It seems to be approaching. Now, the whole idea of travel, it's when I connect to it, like I feel like something is holding me back. So I don't know if it's because you are rethinking, reevaluating the decision, or you have a feel that I don't know about this. Something is holding me back. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
It does. Okay. If I say anything other than this, I would say please always listen to your intuition. And then I'm going to let Ama see what she has.
Okay. Immediately when you started talking, your energy feels very sweet to me, like very tender.
Yeah.
Like easily approachable. So I keep getting that deep down you want to know if this travel is going to interfere with your daily life, with your daily routine. And also I keep getting that deep down you want to know that if in the event that you decide to go for it, are you going to have maybe like any confusion during travel or how this vacation is going to go. So I keep getting that if you decide to go and maybe you're going to run into maybe small problems, you know, that doesn't mean that you are not, that doesn't mean that you are not meant to be there.
Right.
For you, I keep getting that it doesn't matter where you're going to be, here or going on vacation. The important thing is that you enjoy yourself and enjoy every moment. And there is a part of you is questioning this because you are not sure if you do deserve this. Deep down, this is tied up to the idea that you feel like, do I deserve a vacation? Like, am I worthy? So, it is connected to how you reward yourself. Maybe you are, for some reason, you don't feel that like rewarding yourself. Okay, and that's why you are questioning, is it a good idea or not? Now, I keep getting, please double check, triple check your travel arrangements, the ticket, because there may be something there, a minor thing that maybe you overlooked. But I keep getting that if you choose to go, make sure that you make it count. Like disconnect mentally, enjoy it emotionally. And I keep getting that, are you in some ways with this trip trying to escape some of the problems that
Yes, that was going to be my question. Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
I want to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's almost like, I've always I've started living my life the last few years with I'm supposed to be doing this and my life is supposed to look a certain way in terms of stability and responsibility. Right. And it's just I kind of just want to throw that all to the wind and travel for a few months and, you know, just be impulsive and feel like myself again.
Okay. So when you come back, if you decide to travel, when you come back, those problems are still going to be there. But you're going to have more energy, and you're going to see them from a different perspective.
Okay.
But I keep getting, if you decide to stay, for some reason, you're going to be very, very, very bored. And at the beginning, because there is some sort of a need for change anyway. What's going on with headaches, especially, or maybe some pressure, some tension, especially on the right side of your head? Any headaches recently? Not right now, but recently.
A little. There were times, but it would dissipate. I don't get headaches often. So I would say yes, because since I don't get headaches often, I did notice it. It feels
like a pressure. That's how it came to me. It feels like pressure. So because that showed up, it means that wasn't only a physical thing. It was also an energetic thing. So I did clear for that. I was clearing. Therefore, that's how that's why that came up. So some sort of a energetic thing connected to that. So I did clear. I am clearing as well as I'm talking. So let's see what happens. I keep getting that at the end of the day, the choice is yours. But make sure that if you decide to travel, not to travel physically and then thinking about what you're leaving behind and the things that you have to deal with. So make it count. Okay, enjoy it.
Okay. What I'm connecting now to what I'm going to talk about, I think it doesn't have to do with the travel. It might have something to do with it, but I think I'm going beyond that. What I do see what's happening in your life right now is that what you once thought was something that was what you wanted is no longer. There is a completion here, and it's the way you connect to things and people. But what I also see here, that there is a financial stability here awaiting you. And this is what I'm going to say. If you don't want to get pregnant, make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Okay?
Beautiful.
Because you have the card of Empress, which to me, the first thing they showed me was a baby. But this also tells me that you are in the process of expanding, and as a result, you will be, quote unquote, birthing something new. So you're right on track.
Okay.
And that's, there's going to be changes around it, but these are changes that will lead to brand new beginnings.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone. Blessed be. Bye-bye.
You too, sweetheart. Bye. I think we may have a time for another caller. That was really good, Ama. Max, are you still there? He's working in the background.
I'm dealing with people on the chat line. I'm looking at that. Awesome.
Oh, perfect.
I would have loved to hear more from Max about exorcism, about how to tell if somebody is possessed, what are the signs, or what brought him in that journey. But we don't have time today.
We don't have time for the whole thing, but Max, are you able to work on the people on chat line and tell us also how to know if one has a pesky spirit attached to them?
There was one lady there, and I don't recall who it was. You were talking to her, that I went through and cut 4 generations of curses that was attached to her. Many people live and walk around with that, but you will find it throughout the entire Bible if a person is reading through there.
But how would a person know? Like, is it something that you feel, or is it something, how would one know?
Well, if you sit down and you think about your life, what are the big issues? And then what are the problems that you're facing? How are they coming at you? Is it inside or from outside? So if it's from inside, you can just about figure there's something wrong there. Now, in every case, a person can deal with it and get rid of it themselves. But many people aren't even aware that they are walking around and have open doors for this stuff. But if you're continuously angry, and you have a temper, if you have some kind of sickness, half the time that could be by a spirit. The other half, I want to make this clear, that the person has chosen that to deal with it in their life before they were ever born. And that is very difficult to get rid of. But you chose that before you came in. Now that's 50% of the time I see, but I just wanted to make that plain.
Just not to alarm people. We're not all walking around with attachments. So Max is talking about very, very selected cases here.
But I dealt with so many of those people. That was basically all I was seeing day in and day.
Yeah. Maybe you can give a suggestion or two on how to make sure that we are energetically sound so that we don't open doors to, spirit that is a bit pesky?
Well, I would say Legion is the spirit that most people are familiar with the 2000 out of the Bible. Now, Legion can control many smaller spirits that go in and cause problems. And as I said, deaf and dumb spirit a while ago, that lady, I think, had problems in the left ear, and that always opens, as a young child, a spirit of fear. That spirit of fear will bring on lack of self-confidence. And I say we've got 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute left.
Yeah. So basically, in a roundabout way, because we have to wrap it up, if you can do anything to make sure that you are going within and finding peace as much as you can. And yes, I know we have so many things going on, but I always say, Spirit always reminds me, if I'm in a foul mood and I have my day, my Spirit always says, okay, be grateful. And I know that every single one of us has at least one thing to be grateful for. If we can tap into that energy, it is instantaneously changes and shifts our vibration. So if you can, for example, think of a loved one that you absolutely adore, and it could be an animal as well, and notice how the vision that creates an emotion instantly changes how you feel. And that's how you can consciously, quote unquote, control your energy. So when we're going through difficult times, focusing on the positive, and this is one of the reasons or the ways how will certainly help. And I'm not here to presume that we are all walking around happy, because that would just be ridiculous. So, Ama, do you have anything quick to add? Like literally 10 seconds?
No, I don't think so.
But I add one thing to what you said there. In prayer, a lot of people spend time in prayer. If you would spend more time in thankfulness instead of focusing on the problem, that would help.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much to my guests. This show will be posted on my YouTube channel and also on Ama's. Thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking with you soon, guys. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.